Welcome back to Brew Biz Chats, where we shine the spotlight on Aussie business owners doing meaningful, purpose-driven work and explore the stories, mindset, and shifts and breakthroughs that fuel them. In this episode, I'm joined by the incredible Sarah, founder of the Thought Revolution, a master hypnotist and NLP coach who helps women transform from feeling stuck and disconnected to deeply aligned, self-trusting, and confident in who they are. Sarah works with women whose lives might look perfect on paper, successful careers, families, busy lives, but underneath, something's missing. Through her powerful blend of mindset, coaching, hypnosis, and emotional awareness, she helps her clients go from the old stories, reconnect with who they are beyond their roles, and start creating a life that truly feels their own. We'll be diving into how that transformation happens, what it really means to rebuild self-trust, and why mindset work isn't just personal, it's foundational for success in business, money, and life. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's dive into this thought-provoking conversation with Sarah from Thought Revolution, right here on Brew Biz Chats. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. What an intro. That was so lovely. Thank you.
It's your business and it's everything that you do. And that's why you're on here today, because everyone needs to know what you do.
Awesome.
Like it's such a, unfamiliar aspect, and some people might go, well, that doesn't, what is that?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's why you need to share exactly how did the thought revolution come to life? Like, how did it all happen?
The thought revolution really began, as my own journey. Um, a few years ago when my daughter started kinder, my son was in school, and I have very distinct memory. I got back into my car after doing the drop off, and I just sat staring at my steering wheel for so long, just going, what do I do now? I don't,
Mm,
I had no idea what, if I wasn't a full-time mum, I had absolutely I just had no idea what to do with my time. I had all of this time suddenly, no idea. So, kind of like you said in the intro, my life was on paper was fine. I had a great family. I've got a beautiful house. We live in an amazing suburb where we've got such a great community around us. But I still felt unfulfilled. I felt like there
mm,
was just something missing. And as we're growing up, especially as women, it seems that our goal in the earlier stages of life is to have a family, is to find our
yeah.
husband and have our family. And then we do that. And suddenly it's what next? What do we do
Mm,
now? Um, so I started learning everything I could about how the mind works through NLP and hypnosis and human behavior. I really wanted to discover what changed and how everything changed. And I realized during that most of us aren't broken. We're just layered with so many different layers of expectation on us.
mm,
And it's that expectation that gets us stuck. And so the thought revolution was born out of my own journey and my own struggle of not understanding what my purpose was outside of motherhood. I'd connected myself to that role and that was my identity. And if I wasn't a full-time mum, who was I? And that's where the thought revolution came in, is to help women really be able to peel back the layers of expectations to find out who they truly are on the inside.
it's really tough because, as you said, we become mothers, we've got the family, and us as parents, like I say women, but also even dads, we lose ourselves. We
Yeah.
don't actually know who we are anymore at times because, you're looking after young ones or you're looking after the household, and just suddenly it's like, well, hang on, what lights me up anymore? Like, and especially yeah, as they go to school, well, suddenly it's like, hang on, I've got the whole day now. What do I do with it?
That's,
Or when you've got people who are, it's the next level, when they start going into high school, when they start not needing you, when they start moving out of home. And you hear a lot of stories as well about, parents that have gone, hang on, my house is empty. Now what?
yeah,
Like, and that's where it's like refinding yourself
yeah.
and rebuilding is such an important aspect to try to find. And that's, I guess, how you help. So I know you've said yourself as a master hypnotist and an NLP coach. For those that may not know, what does that actually involve? Because I know it's very new to myself as well. So
Yeah,
it's always good
yeah.
to know these things.
Absolutely. So, at the core of it, NLP stands for neuro linguistic programming. And that helps us understand the way in which we feel, think, and behave. So, and hypnosis then being a incredible modality that is able to take the conscious brain and the subconscious brain and be able to rewire the patterns that are going on. So, our subconscious brain does a really, really great job of keeping us safe.
Mm.
But the kicker is, most of us as adults, we're walking around as wounded 8 year olds because the way in which our patterning imprint happens between the ages of about 1 and 7 to 8 as kids. And it's what happens during that time that our subconscious and in turn our nervous system learns and understands how to deal with the world and how to deal with situations that come up. And it's kind of learned behaviors. And so as adults, we have the ability to be able to start rewiring these patterns, rewiring these beliefs. We often have beliefs that are that have come from our parents, from our teacher. Your grade 6 art teacher might have told you that you were really bad at art, and you took that on, and that's how you've defined yourself. So, where NLP and especially hypnosis is so powerful is it gets you to really be able to understand the belief system that we've got and how they drive our internal system. Really fascinating thing, our brains can take on up to 2 million bits of information per second. It can only process 127 bits of information per second. So you think about the multitude of stuff that your brain is filtering out. It's filtering out right now the fact that you can see your nose. You can see it with your eyes. Your brain just realizes you don't need to know that information. The feel of
Mm.
the clothes on your skin. Your brain's taking that information in, but you're not consciously aware of it at any one point because your brain's filtering it out. Now, these 127 bits of information that we take in, our subconscious brains, they filter, it deletes, and it distorts based on what it feels you need to know at any one particular point in time. Now, a good example of this. Have you ever gone to buy a new car, for example, and you've been researching cars and you might go, oh, I really like the Kia Sorento. That's a really, really great car. And then in the coming weeks, you suddenly start to notice so many more Kias on the road.
Oh, it's so true. And I've got a Kia Sorento outside.
Oh, and now it's not because there's suddenly more of them on the road. All it is your subconscious brain has now decided to show you that information and to bring that bit of information into your awareness, right? And that's a really good example of how filtering this filtering process happens. Another really great example of this is when someone might get up in the morning and they stub their toe on the bed and they go, oh, well, today's going to be a really bad day. Today's going to be a bad day. Your subconscious brain goes, okay, I understand the directive. Gotcha. And so what it's going to start doing is give you evidence of that. And it's going to start to show you little bits and going, oh, you got a red light. It's going to be a bad day. And oh, okay, you spilt your coffee on your desk. It's a bad day. See? And your
Mm.
subconscious brain is here going, woo, look how good I am. I'm so good. You said you wanted a bad day. Look at me providing that for you. And so
Yeah.
what that's where hypnosis and NLP become such powerful modalities, because it helps our subconscious brain to focus in those 127 bits of information to stuff that's really going to start working in our favor and not working against us anymore.
Yeah, I knew that the idea of I've never put it down to the how the brain works, I guess, but until recently actually I've started being known it. But when you're pregnant, did you notice when you were pregnant, like you never noticed so many pregnant people around until suddenly you were pregnant.
Yeah.
Or you never notice so many kids with babies with prams and then it's like, wow, is there always this many prams down at the shops? Like, but yeah, usually is. It's just you never notice it until you're that in that situation. But I definitely agree with the Kia Sorento. I never knew there were so many Kia Sorentos on the road until we bought one. And then same as we have an MG now, and I never noticed there was so many on the road until we clearly bought one. And then that's all I seem to notice now.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
Yeah.
plenty of other cars out there, but that's all my brain is filtering.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
Yeah, you nailed it.
I just never realized how it really works in that whole awareness of how your brain is filtering everything
And
either. And
deleting stuff and distorting stuff, because this
yeah,
is the kicker, right? It's going to distort the information. It distorts the memories that you do have to fit the narrative that's going on inside your head at any one particular time. So it's
mm,
not even that it's just a process of filtering out stuff. It's actually starting to distort what's going on to fit the mold, to fit what is happening. Like that bad day and that red light example. Getting a red light. If the narrative that's going on in your head is something completely different, about how wonderful the day is and how good you feel, then getting a red light doesn't mean that you're having a bad day. But because you've put those words to it that I'm going to have a bad day today, your
yeah,
subconscious has
it's
now
done it.
distorted that and gone, oh, a red light, having to stop at so many red lights equals you having a bad day.
Yeah. And yeah, if you started your day incorrectly, if you start the day, a lot of people say, don't look at your phone because what happens on your phone, if you've got news things coming through, if you've got text messages, you've got work coming through, if you start the day by reading a bad email,
Yeah.
your day can shape up because that's what your mind's obviously telling you. But if you start the day in a peaceful mind or giving gratitude or, that's what I'm finding lately, is you start your day correctly, your
Mm,
day will continue to flow with energy.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
1,000%.
I down pat to it's probably everything you teach, which is amazing, is how it goes. So, I guess so. You love working mostly with women.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, with everything. So, what kind of stage or mindset are they usually in when you find them? So, when they come to you, how do you
Yeah.
know that?
Great question. And this is a kind of tricky one, because the women that I help, like I said before, they're women whose lives are fine. They're good, but they've just got this deep sense of emptiness, of feeling unfulfilled, of kind of that question, that voice inside them that goes, is this all there is?
Mm,
But unfortunately, what comes with that is the intense guilt behind it. You're suddenly finding yourself you've got the kids, you've got the house, and you're going, oh, is this all there is? And then you go, for goodness sakes, like, look at what you've got. How dare
mm,
you be asking yourself the question, is this what more do you actually want?
yeah,
You've got everything. And that's because it's been the society that has pushed us to go, this is your goal as women. This is your goal. Your goal is to have the kids and have the family and have the life. And so anything past that, anything that we want more to that, is kind of taken on by a lot of us as just going, but there's so much guilt behind it. So I find the women that come into the thought revolution, they're just so disconnected with themselves. There's no other way to put that. And there's a good reason for it. The other way that our subconscious learns is through repetition. And you think about the very first moment that you get handed your baby, when you're in the hospital, you get handed your baby, you know, in that moment that everything else, everything you goes out the window. Your hygiene, your nutrition, your exercise, your even getting dressed out of your pajamas. It's irrelevant because you're here to keep this little baby alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine. And you do it because you've got so much love for this little one that you couldn't imagine doing it any other way. But we learn, again, through repetition, over and over, every single day, multiple times a day, that you have to put yourself last.
Yep.
And we do in the early stages, we do. And that's just facts. We have to put ourselves last in order to keep this little infant alive. But there comes a time in every woman's life, maybe it's when their kids are 5, maybe it's when their kids are 25, when they realize, hang on, I'm not needed in the same capacity anymore. I'm not needed to keep my child alive. My child can feed themselves, they can dress themselves, they can get themselves to school. My role has shifted out from being this person's source of life to being this person's guide. But because we've spent so much time and so many years in that mode of putting ourselves last, it's very, very hard for women to step back out of that.
It definitely is. And that's where, like, obviously, yes, for the first few years or for the first, even not the first few years, even just the first few months when you've got that newborn,
Yeah.
it's hard to put yourself first even because you still need to eat. Like you still, if you're feeding them for breastfeeding or something, you still need to physically eat. So you do need to put yourself first to feed them, but we don't think of it like that. We just think of it as like, I need to attend to my babies because their needs are first.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, look at the airplane analogy. Who do you put the mask on first?
Yes.
You definitely don't put it on your child first. You
Yes.
put it on yourself because if you don't put it on yourself, you can't save your child. If you
Yes.
put it
So
on your
true.
child first, then you are done for. So
Yeah.
you have to put yourself first, but we're so used to the pressures of everything that we never put ourselves first. And they
Exactly.
always say, you've got to fill your own cup up first before you can look after everyone else. It's the same
Yeah.
as a plane, but we do so much for everyone, and then that's where even mainly us as females and women can get that burnout stage because we've just put everyone else first and us last.
Yeah.
So,
But
but yeah, I agree with you.
it's the even the question of, and this is what stops a lot of women from breaking out of it, because they want to be able to possibly move out of it, but then they have that intense guilt that comes in again to go, well, no, I'm a mum, I took on this role, and that means as a mum I have to look after everyone, make sure everybody else is fine and is good, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But exactly what you said, Flick, how can we, and this is really why I started this work, because originally I wanted to help kids and I wanted to help tweens really be able to understand how they can utilize their mind, because this stuff isn't taught in schools, how they
No.
can take back the power and the control of their minds. But what I realized, that if I want significant change, it has to start with the parents. It
Yeah.
has to start with us at home, modeling what it looks like to be able to not just give ourselves time, but be able to regulate ourselves. Because we're
Correct.
expecting our kids to be able to do it, to just go and regulate themselves, but we're not actually showing them what that means, what that looks like. And regulating yourself can be as simple as going and standing out on the grass for 10 minutes, or going and sitting in a dark closet with the door closed because you just need some silence. Whatever it might be, whatever it looks like, and to not have to apologize for that. To be able to show our kids, hey, I'm just taking 10 minutes. Mum just needs 10 minutes. This is what I'm going to do. We'll set an alarm, and in 10 minutes, I'm going to be back.
And you nailed it as well. Like, we do so much for our children where we help them even through regulation or regulating themselves. But if we're not modeling it at home, then all we're doing is trying to show it because we always put ourselves last again. So we do everything for the child to go, oh, we need to help regulate their emotions, we need to help regulate their body, their nervous system, but we're not doing it for ourselves. And
Exactly.
so they might be getting some tools, but if they're not seeing that at home,
Yeah,
that their own parents are losing it or that they're not coping because they can't regulate their own emotions, well, then hang on, there's that disconnect again.
yeah,
So, like, yeah, I agree. Working with the parents is probably or the where it starts at because otherwise that'll flow down to the children.
exactly.
And that's yeah, it's you hit it on the head. It's just yeah, I think it's an amazing what you're doing, and I think that's how it's more just opening up, going society's always okay, and unfortunately it falls back to the older society teaching us or like really honing in on us that we must look after our family, we must do this as females, instead of hang on, we are allowed to put ourselves first. And that's what the shift is happening. The shift is now, and or it's in the last 10 years, and where the shift is really happening to you need to put your own mental health first. You need to put um, your own body first before you look after everyone else.
And
But
let's,
unfortunately, it's getting rid of that ingrained thing.
oh, that's exactly it. The amount of society and generational curses, I'll call it, that we have is unbelievable. But let me just make one thing very clear, because this is where people can get so stuck. Putting yourself first does not mean that you have to actively put everybody else last.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that you have to drop the ball as a parent. It doesn't mean putting yourself first doesn't mean that you have to, it's going to negatively impact your kids, because that's what a lot of us feel. A lot of us feel like, oh, I'd love to put myself first, but you know what, I don't. If I was to take 10 minutes out of my day and go sit on the grass, my kid's gonna lose it, or he'll come out and find me, or he won't allow me to. It seems nice in thought, but he won't allow me to do, or whatever the reason might be that comes up. So I just want people to know that putting yourself first doesn't mean that you're neglecting what you need to do as a mum.
Mm. No, that's definitely something to very much remember.
Yeah.
Like we say, put yourself first, and a lot of people do say, "I don't have time. I've got to do." It's like you're not going. You can still do all the stuff down the path, all the checklist of thing. 10 minutes of your day. Just start your day, or I mean, I put myself, I'm making school lunches, I'm dancing around the kitchen. Like you're just doing something that gives you grounding. Like, and
Yeah.
now, I used to just listen to my headphones, but now my daughter gets involved. So I put it on loudspeaker. Like,
Yeah, no.
I don't care if I look at silly, but I'm still doing this stuff. But I know that some things I need to do for myself to really put myself there. But I
Yeah.
agree, like people will say, I don't have time to go and, if you want to go outside, do the, or go for a walk. Well, you know, you just got to shuffle a bit of your day. It's not going to change. You still do everything, but just taking that time to go, hang on, let me just go revitalize. And every parent definitely needs it, male or female. But even just adults or anyone, everyone needs to put themselves first at some point. Then go, hang on, wait, what's 10 minutes? 10 minutes is just you know, watching something on TV or playing a game on your phone or replying or being on the phone or going to the toilet. Like it's just 10 minutes. So just
Right.
doing something, it's not going to interrupt the rest of your day. If anything, it's going to help you move through that day smoother.
That's right. And I'll
So,
share one really, really, really easy thing, because a lot of us get very caught up in, when we think of self love and what that looks like, you go to all the obvious things, right? You go and have a bath, go and get your nails done, go for a walk, all of that. And
mm,
that's where the pressure comes into it, because you go, oh, I should show myself some self love. Oh, I really can't be bothered. Like having a bath is so much effort. Oh, I can't get my nails done because I've got to pick the kids up in half an hour. I won't be able to do that. And that's where all like it's too much pressure. Where what I would encourage everyone to do in that first couple of when you're taking 10 minutes for yourself, first thing that I want you to do is really just sit down, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? And it might be as simple as a glass of water. It
mm,
might be that you need to put a tune on and go dancing around your living room. It might be that you just need to sit down on the couch and just stare at the floor, whatever it might be. But asking ourselves the question of, what do I need right now in this moment, will do two things. Number one, it gives you the opportunity of self-love. But number two, it connects you to you. You're not, again, trying to think of stuff that you should be doing. I should, if I'm giving myself love, I should be having a bath. I should be going and doing this because that's what it means, right? No. Self-love is different to every single person. So just ask yourself your question, what do I need in this moment? And listen. Be quiet and listen to the answer.
Yeah, that's a great tip. What do you need in this moment? I'll be trying to make sure I'll be writing that down and using that one later today when I'm like, what do I need when I'm feeling that overwhelm?
Yeah.
So when I guess we've gone through how it all can work, and this probably will go over this a bit more, but what does it look like when you're working with someone and they start to rebuild that self-trust after years of living, for others, looking after their kids and or suppressing everything that they need? How does that look like when someone starts to rebuild?
And this is another big thing, right? Because like I was saying before, it's not about those grand gestures. It's not about doing massive things to tick it off the list. It's just about, it's micro trust, right? So when you're able to, a lot of us have lost trust in ourselves because we've been so conditioned, to how things should be. But just keeping tiny promises to yourself, it lets your nervous system know that it can believe you when you're talking about it. There's self-trust is built on one action, one truth every single time. Now, if that comes down to, you saying, oh, I really need to give myself some more time, I really need to connect back into myself more, and then you don't do it, you're breaking that self-trust.
Yeah.
And it's your subconscious and your nervous system is going, yeah, I've heard this before. But guys, keep this tight watch because nothing's actually changing. So when we can just keep that tiny promise to ourselves, go, okay, I'm going to take just 10 minutes today. And you do it and you follow through. And then you celebrate that win. And it might be when you start out, you go, I'm just going to give myself 1 minute. 1 minute to sit still, close my eyes and breathe. And then you celebrate that. You did it and you celebrate it. And you go, yeah, look at me go. Look at me go. I did it. This is what I said I was going to do. And I did it. Then your subconscious and your nervous system starts to listen and go, oh, okay. Yeah, right. All right. We can work with this. And it's building that self-trust little by little by little by little over time. So then your subconscious and your nervous system are in complete alignment with each other.
Yeah. So it's 2 mm shifts. But really, each time, each habit, if you can just change it with a 2 mm shift to flip it slightly and just slowly tweak. And it is definitely like if you're sabotaging your own mind when you keep making habits or promises, then you don't keep them. And someone's made a really good one point to me in the past. It's gone, how many times have you broken your New Year's resolutions? Like, so your body, your mind is always going to say, well, you're never going to keep it because you've broken it every single year. So what's the difference? Exactly. But if you can just do that tiny 2 mm habit change or introduce that one little thing and then ingrain that into your mind, and then it will happen.
That's right. That's why it's not about the big grand gestures that's going to do that. It's exactly what you said. It's making teeny tiny little shifts throughout your day and then acknowledging and celebrating yourself for it.
Oh, definitely. Celebrations and writing your wins down is really important, that I've found, especially in business, in life, in family. Like if you can just write down those wins. I sat down and spent time with my children today. It's a win. Like it doesn't matter how big or small, or I actually cooked dinner tonight. Well, there you go. That's a good win. Or I actually got up and did early before my alarm. There's another win. Like you just sort of write those little wins down. It doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be massive. They could just be that little change that
Which
can.
again, this circles all the way back to that, 127 bits of information that we were talking about again.
Mm,
Because then your subconscious is going to start to go, okay, right, I see what the game is here. We're looking for wins in our day.
mhm.
Let's try and find some more of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I guess when it comes to business, because we talk about obviously small businesses and entrepreneurs and with what we do, so many entrepreneurs underestimate how much mindset work really impacts the way we run in our business. So even when it comes into money and taxes, when I'm talking to a client, they think they're getting on a call about taxes and managing their money. Half the time it's about mindset. I'm
Yeah.
going to say that is where we go down the path. So how do you see that this internal work translates into confidence in their business decisions?
It comes right back to what we were just talking about in the self-trust.
Yeah.
Because your business is going to mirror your internal world. And so if your internal world is in conflict, your external world is going to be in conflict as well. And when you can build that self-trust, you stop second guessing yourself. Decisions become easier because you've got the self-trust that you'll be able to sort it out either way. Um, you begin to take aligned risks instead of fear-based ones,
Yeah.
and overall your decisions just become faster and calmer and cleaner, really. So mindset does so much in business. I'm sure we've all heard this phrase before, but if you tell yourself you can or you tell yourself you can't, either way you're right.
Mm,
So
exactly.
the mindset, if you're in your business and you're focusing on all the limitations and seeing all of the bad stuff that's coming up, guess what your brain's going to do? It's going to start going, oh, here's some more.
Only seen the bright,
Oh,
only
here's
seen the
some
bad.
more too.
It's like the car. If you focus on the car, you're only going to see the cars in the street. So if you're focusing on the bad, it's only what you're going to see in the bad side of things. So focus on the good side of it.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And mindset has definitely been, and what I go through a lot of our clients with as well, and what I'm sure you go through with everyone, is that mindset plays such a big part in family and in business,
Yeah,
especially when the entrepreneurs, you need to stay on track with keeping your mindset in check.
yeah.
And that's, if it's not in check, then yeah, you need to work on it and work through it with someone who can help you,
Yeah.
such as Sarah. Um, all right. So I guess um we'll go back a bit to what you've been doing with launching and growing and the thought revolution in itself. So what's some of the most rewarding parts of growing the thought revolution?
Oh, it's without a doubt, it is seeing the changes that happen in women when they find their spark and they find their alignment. That is everything to me because you can see the ripple effect. You
Yeah.
can see how much it ripples out, not just to their kids, but to their husband, to their work life, to their friendship. It just you get this sorted, and the ripple effect to everyone around you is enormous. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is for me. It's it's seeing them find their purpose, but like what lights me up is the massive ripple effect because now this woman who I've just been able to spark, she has the capacity to be able to go and start spreading that message to other people as well. And
Yeah.
it is a massive ripple when her friends start noticing, hey, what if, you're so happy and you're so much different. What's changed for you? Well, I've actually stopped apologizing for wanting more, and I've actually stepped into what it is that I truly want to do and my heart truly wants. And then, curious about that. What does that mean? And she's now able to start talking about the message. So it's the ripple, actually. I'll change my answer. It's the ripple effect that excites me the most.
You touched on one of my favorite sayings is when someone asks me what ROI is, it's the ripples of impact.
Oh,
So instead of it being ROI of business, It is the ripples of impact we create on everyone's lives.
Oh, I love that so much.
You're welcome to take it. It's just
Thank
literally
you.
ripples of impact. Like the
I
ROI that they're going to get from investing in you or investing in their business, it's the ripples that they can create and the impact that they go down to others.
Yeah,
And it's the
yeah,
purpose behind it all.
yeah,
So seriously, ripples of impact, it's a best little thing to go. ROI does not equal what can I get in my bank account.
nah,
It's what can you give to others
yeah, yeah. Oh,
and flow on effect.
so good.
So I love when it talk about the ripples. Like it is just the way if you run your business with purpose, which is what you're doing, the ripples that go down on everyone's lives is where it can really make the difference.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, I
remember
got
that one.
goosebumps. That's so cool.
It's a great one. And now obviously I don't want to go to the negative too much, so I might want to skip this one, but I won't. Obviously with every business there comes challenges.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so how have you personally and professionally sort of along the way, have you faced some challenges while launching the Thought Revolution?
Oh, you know what? And this has been something that I've had to kind of come to terms with myself. It's walking the walk.
Yep.
It's walking the walk. You know, I'm here to show women that it's okay for them to say yes to themselves and that it's okay for them to want more in life. Now, it was only a couple of months ago that I was faced with this incredible opportunity. But all of my old fears and my old beliefs kind of came up and came into play, and like, oh, I'm not sure if I could do that, and oh, what's all of the rubbish stuff. When I realized that if I'm not doing this, how can I ever expect my clients to? You
Yeah.
know, I'm not the one saying yes to myself, then I'm a bit of a fraud, really, because I'm doing exactly kind of what we're doing in motherhood. I'm telling them one thing but doing something else.
Yeah. And
So
not
that's
showing them and being that role model of what you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah. So it's this work means that I'm always growing, and I actually can't like maybe I'm a bit of a mac. Oh, I can never say that word. Masochist. Um, stop.
I know what word you're trying to say, but I cannot say it myself, so I'm not going to bother trying.
I
Masochist? Is it
maybe yes.
masochist?
We'll
Is that
go with
right?
that, shall we? We'll
Yeah,
go.
I can't quite. Yeah, I agree. I can't say those.
I love there was a moment. It was about 6 months ago, and I had this really this. I won't go into details of it, but it was a massive defining moment in a belief that I had had that I was working through, and there was a moment that I was sat on my kitchen floor crying harder than I have probably cried in my entire life, and I felt so out of control in that moment. And my husband said to me at that point, and he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you're going through this." And I turned to him and I looked at him and I said, "What? No, I'm not sorry that I'm going through. This is what soul growth looks like.
Mm,
And I have to be able to go through this in order for me to be able to see the other side." And
yeah,
so I love those moments. I love those moments that I get challenged, that my beliefs get challenged, that I get confronted with, my patterns or my behaviors that have kept me up to this point, because it just makes me go, okay, cool. I know what I need to work on. I know where the work lies. And I'm not afraid to roll up my sleeves and do the work.
mm,
This work is very confronting. It is
yeah,
very confronting because it will bring up stuff that makes you go, holy shit, and stuff that's been embedded in us for years and years and years. But spoiler alert, once you start, you kind of don't want to stop. It's kind of okay, good, I've cleared that, and it's so good, and it's so much brighter and more colorful and so much more beautiful now that I have cleared
yeah.
it. What's next? Oh, there's another cloud that's come into my horizon. All right, time to go to work. Let's get rid of it.
I know exactly what you mean. I was talking to you earlier, obviously, about my own transformation of breaking through those beliefs and going through your own journey and really repairing things that you need to come out of. And I had mine 6 months ago now, and it was just you work every day. Like as you said, another cloud might come across, but then you work on it. You'd never stop working on yourself. And if
Mm,
you think that one transformation is then you're done and you can just okay think you're just going to sink into either old patterns or just continue along the straight line.
totally,
You need to always, or even probably even eventually go down the hill. So you need to keep working on yourself. You need to always keep doing things to help improve, or not improve, but like increase yourself, like and break through those clouds.
it's the self-awareness.
Yeah.
And once you've got the self-awareness of it, you've got the choice. Do I continue on how it's going, or do I do the work and clear it? Hmm.
No, I 100% agree. I'm very much a true believer in making sure you're working on your personal development and your mindset every step of the way.
Totally.
Otherwise, as you said, I talk the talk, but you got to actually walk the walk. So, we have these conversations with our clients, and how can they believe in what you're saying if you haven't done it yourself?
Yeah.
So, I used to back in the day, you're obviously advising people, oh, they've got to leave from employment, from my purposes, employment to start their own business. But had I done that yet? I was in employment, wasn't I? Well, I can now say that, I walk the walk, but it's, yeah, the fact that you do that with your clients, and you can show how your transformation has happened and the real life impact it's had on you whilst using the tools that you have at hand to help them. Like
Totally.
it's the impact you're going to create.
Yeah.
Um, okay, lost where I'm at. So I guess, all right, have we got any future, what's in store for the future of the Thought Revolution? What's next? Have we got some programs or events you're talking about or collaborations in that you want to spill at all? Or what's the little things happening in the
Oh,
background?
it's all about expansion for me, but in a really a beautiful, grounded way. I've got I've got my vision of building this into a global movement
And I
because
can see it happening for you.
yeah, a revolution is the overthrow of old systems to make space for the new stuff to come forward. And that's
Hmm.
exactly what this is. And once I start, if imagine the generations that are going to come when we can really teach our kids what it looks like to stand into our own authenticity.
Mm.
You think about the narratives and the beliefs that we had growing up. I mean, how many times did you hear, uh, don't be an artist because there's no money in art, get a real job and just do your art as a hobby?
Hmm.
Things like that. To go, well, why can't you? Why can't you? If that's your true authentic self, then we'll work out a way. And
Yeah.
so the thought revolution, it's going to be growing and expanding all across the globe. And I'm actually developing a new, it's called transformation, but
Mhm.
trance as in TRANCE, as in the trance hypnosis trance.
Ah, yep.
Um, and that's my non-state hypnosis method that I'm going to be taking into corporate and leadership spaces.
Oh,
So,
fantastic.
yeah,
I look forward to being here to support you 100% of the way
yeah,
and seeing where that leads you. So
my little
that is amazing. Um, I would, I was going to ask the question of words of wisdom, what people could say, but I think, could you repeat what you said before? What's one thing that a woman who's probably listening, feeling stuck right now could do today to just help them feel more aligned, that small step to encourage them to take? You maybe even mentioned one a bit earlier, but
the first thing that I would say is just to take a breath and pause.
yeah.
That's the first thing, because quite often when we embark on this journey, or we want to, we're still running at a million miles an hour, and we've still got so much stuff, and there is so much noise going on. So all I would say is take a breath and just pause. And in the pause, it's then about listening what comes up and asking yourself that question of what do I need today? and then listening to the answer, the more that you start having conversations with yourself. And it can seem so ridiculous, and we've probably been told, numerous times, oh, you're having a conversation with yourself, oh, she's a bit
I was about to say
crazy.
that. I'm pretty sure we get told you shouldn't talk to yourself, right?
It makes me so mad, because if you can't have a proper honest conversation with yourself, how is anybody else going to have a? You're the one that's in control here, and you need to be able to understand. And the more that you can take a breath and just pause and just go internally, the louder that your intuition is going to get. The louder that your intuition is going to get, the more that you're going to be able to have your own compass, have your own map, because it's the voice of your true authenticity, and the ego comes in over louder quite often. Oh, okay, well, I can't do that because I got this going on, and oh, I couldn't do that because of this and that and this. But your intuition is going, oh, I just need a break. I just need 10 minutes. Please just give me 10 minutes. So
Exactly.
it's, what do I need to do today?
Well, you heard it from Sarah. You need to go and take your 10-minute break or even 2 minutes and just ask yourself, what do you need? And just stop and pause.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sarah, for your inspirational conversation, like the eye-opening of what you do and what the thought revolution does. I just love how you're bringing it all together. It's the mindset, hypnosis, emotional well-being, and to help women reconnect to who they truly are, especially once we're feeling lost.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's what we want to tell the world of who we are. So thank you for allowing that to be out there. So often we see women who've built these incredible lives on paper, careers and families and success, but we all know deep down something's lost. There's
Yeah.
a spark that needs to be reignited. And I just really love how you're helping women or clients rebuild that and find their self-trust again. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh,
Letting
thank
go of old stories is a really big thing. So thank you
This has
for
been so
doing what you do. It's just such a powerful reminder because honestly, our thoughts, beliefs, our inner, the dialogue that shape everything.
great.
Really, it's how we show up in our relationships, how we lead in business, how we approach life, money, growth. So thank you, thank you, and thank you.
Thank
For,
you. Thank you for giving me this platform to be able to talk today. It's everything. And thank you for the work that you're doing.
well, thank you for jumping on. So if you would like to connect with Sarah or learn more about the Thought Revolution, you'll find the links in the description below. And as always, if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can catch more inspirational conversations right here on Brew Biz Chats, where we keep celebrating Aussie founders who are building with heart, purpose, and authenticity. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode.